Hey guys, Gary here from RVLivingLIFE. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, please consider subscribing and giving us a thumbs up. We really appreciate that. Sorry about the lighting here, but it's so nice outside. I just got to stay out of the sun. It's too hot. But just love that scenery back there. Anyway, today we're going to be installing the Clearsource Onboard Pro RV water system. And it's 3 canisters, and what it does is it filters your water from a very whatever situation of the water coming in to a very clean situation of the water going into your rig. It has 3 different filters. There's the 5 milligram, the 1 milligram, and then the 0.1 milligram virus guard filter. So anyway, let's get to the installation. Let's go. So I found a place inside where I'm going to mount it, and I'll show you that in a minute. But before I do that, I just want to say the quality build on this thing is amazing. It's a nice thick piece of metal here. Look at the way all these pieces are screwed on. So nice and neat. Solid steel back. And in behind the canisters, you can see there's holes here where you're going to mount it to the wall. So I'm just going to take these off and mount it. But the build quality is incredible. And I'd also like to note that it says in the instructions that the water enters on the left and exits on the right. I'd just like to break here for a moment to tell you that if you wanted to reverse the flow in the water filters, you can't just reverse the water filters. You have to flip the whole system around. I made a video on that as well, and you'll see that up in the top corner or down in the description. Whereas if you want to have your water flow in from the right side and out the left instead of the normal way of in the left side and out the right. So check that out if you want to reverse your water flow. Let's continue. Okay, I seem to have found a good spot to locate the water filters right here. I've measured it out. It will fit perfectly. This is in my wet bay. This is my freshwater tank. There's a gray tank over there and a black tank over there. It's a fairly enclosed and clean area. And the reason I'm thinking of putting it in here is these will only need to be looked at every 3 months or so to change the filters out. And I could just leave it in here and have no worries, and it's close to where all the water comes in. These 2 lines here, they come from the other side. The one with the shutoff is the water feed from the other side, and this one is the water going back. So I'm going to put it here, and then I'm going to have to cut this line and attach it onto it, and then run another line from here to join back onto here again. Should be a fairly simple job. I've gone through my junk box and I found some nice screws here, and I'm going to put 6 screws into it and mount it right there. As I was saying earlier, this is a really high quality product. This piece of metal here is, the base for it is quite heavy duty, that's for sure. So with the canisters hanging down here, I'm going to have to get it up high enough that I can unscrew the canisters and take it off. So likely the higher the better. I'm just going to see if I can get 1 screw in the middle up there, see how that goes. Okay, I got 1 in there. Okay, that looks level there. Okay, 6 screws in. That is solid. And I get a canister just to test it. Oh yeah, it'll be up nice and high, easy to change. Perfect. Have to change where the camera is. Okay, so I'm going to cut this around here so I can save this on-off valve, and I'm going to install that before the water goes into the Clearsource system. I bought this a long time ago when I was making battery cables for my lithium batteries, and this thing works great for cutting pretty much anything. So anyway, I'm going to cut it here. I'm not going to be surprised if any water comes out. Of course, I've shut the water off and drained it as best as I could. And we're just going to put that on there and see if we can cut it reasonably straight. Something like that. That's it. It's cut. So I have determined that this is where the water comes in. This is the feed line. And now I got to cut it back here somewhere. Point the camera up there a little better. I got to cut it back here somewhere. And then I can join this switch on, or this valve I should say, onto the line. So probably going to cut it a little too long at first and then trim it. Maybe around there. There's some play I can push back. Okay. A little bit of water came out, that was expected. So now I've got this piece here where the valve is on, and this piece up here that I cut. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach the valve onto the back where I can't really see it that well, and then join it onto here after where I can see it. Oops. A little bit of water coming out of the line still. If you don't get wet when you're working on plumbing, you know, what fun is it? Okay, something like that. Get it on there reasonably straight. Okay, I did cut it a little close here, but I should be able to put the fitting inside there. So I just rounded these ends with the pliers a bit. This is a joiner to join two straight pieces. That goes on there, and you just take the PEX tool, which is this guy, and you clamp it on. And this one here is going to go right on the back here. Okay, I'll put the fitting over there. Okay, so I've got the fitting on there. That's it. It's on there. And now I've got to get this one on there. Okay, so now I've got this one is PEXed onto there nice and tight. That's on there nice and tight. That's the original clip. That one's the original clip. And here I put a joiner in, and I'm going to attach those on there. That one's on good. I'll put this one on. There, that one's on too. It's a little close to that end, but it should work fine. Okay. Now I should be able to shut that off. I'm going to go turn my water on and see if anything comes out of there. Make sure it's not leaking before I go any further. Okay, water pump's on, we're up to pressure. There's no leaking. I got a shut-off valve right there, which is nice. And now I have to join this piece right here over to this end. Again, I just want to round the end of these. They do make a PEX cutter. I've never bought one, but it would probably make that simpler. Perfect. I just got to tie this cable up. Yeah, nice up out of the way. Put a second one on it just to make it stronger. Perfect. There we go. Now I just got to put the canisters on. So this first filter I have here, this is the 5 micron filter. This one I'm just going to put as the first one on that end. It goes right up in that thing there. So it should line itself up properly, screwing it on. And there we go, that's the first one on. And I'll tighten these up with the wrench accordingly in a moment. And the middle filter is this one here. You see it's kind of like a mesh on it, a lot of little dots in there. That's the middle one. It's got a rubber on the top here for that. Oh, there you go. I guess there's a bit of a learning curve to get that right. That one's on, and then the last one is the virus guard, which is like a pleated filter with a mesh over it, and it goes on this one here. Yeah, that's it. Okay. Now we'll just snug them all up with the tool. I don't know how tight they have to be. You definitely want to be able to loosen them after. I guess if they leak, you tighten them more. And that's it. Okay, so now we're all hooked up. And everything looks beautiful. Just going to turn the water on. That's the water pump filling them up. We have no leaks. Looks like great success. I would say this whole installation took about an hour. It's actually quite simple. Good job at Clearsource at keeping it simple. All I did was cut my PEX line that was going towards my soft water filter. And I cut it. I put the valve here going in and the other end going in line again. And all I needed was this little short piece of PEX pipe. I probably could have cut it off of this one because this is too long, so I probably wouldn't needed any parts other than the PEX clips and the screws that hold it onto the board. Great job, great success. Thanks a lot, Clearsource. If anyone would like to get one of these, we have a coupon code on the website or on the video. We'd appreciate it if you used our coupon code. We get a little small bonus for that as well. And thanks for watching, everyone. Take care now. Bye. Okay, and that's it for today on that. The installation was really quite simple. It didn't take very long at all. The only tools you need is a PEX crimper, some elbows and some PEX clamps, and some extra PEX tube. Like I mentioned earlier in the video, or maybe in the other one, they also have a version that has hose fittings on each end. So if you don't want to permanently install it inside, you can leave it on the ground outside, and you can just hook your hoses on it for the water coming into your rig. And I believe that one is blue and black, and you should be able to tell it quite easily to see it. Anyway, thanks for watching, everyone. Take care and enjoy the ride. Bye now.